let me know. Can you guys see the screen? All right. You should see a slide that says week 2. Okay, cool. You guys can hear me. Fantastico. Oh, I feel terrible. I'm sorry. Okay, moving right along. And as always, I'd like to throw this up there just as a reminder. As a reminder, if you come in late or whatever, the session is being recorded, so you can always check it out. A couple things. I post the recording as an announcement shortly after the session ends. Also, you probably noticed it also on the discussion board. So, for example, this week you'll see it also on the 2.3 discussion board. So, you'll see it in a couple places. You'll see the recording pop up as an announcement, and then you'll see it on the 2.3 discussion board also. Cool. So just keep an eye on it. Everybody good? And yeah, I think I said this last week as well, or the week prior. But spread the words. Please spread the word, because a lot of students tell me that these sessions definitely clear quite a few things up, like in the instructions. Um, and yeah, like today, for example, I'll be going over the 2.3 assignments and the 2.4 assignment in detail. I'll be, giving some tips and some suggestions on what you can do and what you can use. Sorry. Anywho, all right. So everybody should have already received their 1.4 and 1.3 grades. If you did not, please just send me an email and I'll be happy to chat about it. We'll get that squared away ASAP. Cool. Just wanted to let you guys know where that stands. And please note that I do make I provide feedback for all of your grades, so be sure to take a look at the feedback. Otherwise, you won't know. I'll always say, okay, this is you did this good, or try this next time, or it needed a little bit more of this and that. So uh, oh, thanks, Michael. I'm glad it was. But yeah, and like if you were totally in the wrong direction, or you totally kind of you know, missed a mark, I also indicated that, you know. But I think one thing that's very crucial is, yeah, just make sure you either attend these sessions, these go-to training sessions, or please watch the recording. And just, I know this sounds like a totally no-brainer. You might roll your eyes at me, but since this is an online course, you really have to, you basically have to live online. And I know that sounds silly, but you really do. You just keep checking your email, keep checking the platform, make sure everything looks good, make sure your assignments are okay, um, and yeah, because we're that's one of the main forms of communication. Especially since it's an online. It's basically for your convenience. Cool. All right. So as I indicated earlier, I will be going over the 2.3 and the 2.4 assignments, the instructions, and I'm going to be showing you guys samples of the 2.4. You may have noticed already, and you don't have to do this right this second, but maybe after the session, take a look after the session at the 2.3 discussion board. I posted two sample presentations, two sample emotional storytelling assignments. Some of you already may have already checked it out. So I did this just to give you an idea of a few angles you can approach it by. You'll notice that one of the samples is an audio and visual presentation. Did anybody check it out, by the way? Anyone? It's okay if you did not. Just oh, good, 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 good. You'll notice I did one. I posted a sample myself. I made by yours truly, and I couldn't help but talk about one of my favorite topics. Um, you guessed it, The Walking Dead. Yes, so that's one way you can do it. Um, it's an audio. I did an audio and I did a visual presentation. So I used iMovie. You don't have to use iMovie. Um, and the other sample that I included was an audio only sample. And that's another angle you can do it. Like I said, you don't have to do audio visual. Just you can do audio only if you want. That's totally fine. Totally fine. And so what a lot of students are doing in the past, with really good results. What they did was they just used their headset that came with their smartphone, and they just recorded directly into there. Um, and yeah, there's a number of different programs you can use for the 2.3 emotional storytelling assignment. Like you can use Adobe Spark, you can use PowerPoint, you can use yeah, like I said, iMovie. Uh, and if you don't want to do the visual component, you can just do an audio only. And if for whatever reason you might need an audio program, there's a free one online. It's called Audacity. I'm going to type it into the chat box right now. Audacity. So Audacity, a lot of students have used it in the past with great success and results. It's a free online audio program, and the cool thing too is there's tons of tutorials on YouTube. Um, that basically tell you exactly how to use Audacity. So it's really handy. YouTube is pretty fantastic as far as that goes. Of course, you're going to find some great videos and some pretty ridiculous videos as well. So you just kind of have to weed through those. Christian asked a question. Let me just make sure I get to this. Is it okay to have video clips in the presentation, or should it only be a slideshow? Good question, Christian. Uh, I would say this: the presentation needs to be 2 to 3 minutes long. The 2.3 assignment needs to be 2 to 3 minutes long. So what you don't want to do, you don't want to like have 30 seconds of you talking and then the rest of the presentation be like a video clip. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? like, but if you want to include short video clips, that would be totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah, that's you can also talk over the clips. Just make sure that we can hear you. Obviously, that would be totally fine. The tricky thing about that, Christian, is I you don't want it to be really distracting, especially if it's a really powerful clip, like something very emotional. You might find that the viewer is going to be struggling to, okay, what am I supposed to do? Should I pay more attention to the video clip or pay more attention to the narrator? You know what I mean? So that might be a little tricky. What you could do is you could talk about the clip through the majority of the presentation, and then maybe at the end have a link to the clip, or maybe at the end have the clip itself. So yeah, there's a couple of different angles you can do that. But anywho, so yeah, as this slide indicates, can anybody see this slide? 2.3 assignment. So the first part of that, in other words, the recording part of it, that's due tomorrow. And like I said, it doesn't have to have pictures. It can if you want, or if you want to just do audio only, that's also cool. So that portion of the 2.3 assignment is due tomorrow. Now the reply posts for the 2.3 assignment are going to be due Sunday, as always. Does that make sense? Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, and just try not to choose the same topic as another student. Like, let's say, uh, one of the you saw a student and that they decided to do their project on Elder Scrolls. You know, try to avoid doing the same topic because then what's going to happen is I might get like four presentations on Elder Scrolls, or you know what I'm saying. The cool thing about this assignment, and oh, whoops, sorry, Nicholas. Um, the cool thing about this assignment is you really have quite a lot of freedom to choose different things. Um, it could be it could be anything under the umbrella of art, and as you know, art is quite huge. Art can be like a design, like a car design. It could be a painting. It could be a sculpture. It could be a video game. Um, it could be a song. It could be a film. So yeah, there's so many things to choose from. So many. I That's true, Garrett. I it is a little tricky, just being picking one. Um, so what a couple of questions I've been asked in the past is like, what if I want to do the horror genre? Like some people, anybody like the horror films, horror movies? Anyone? Okay, cool. I've been asked this a few times in the past. Like, what if I want to use like a genre or like a genre of music? I'm okay with that, but really try to narrow it down. Try to say, okay, I like the horror genre. Like the horror genre a lot. This is why I like it. Here are a couple of my favorites, and then maybe talk about, classic Psycho film or Carpenter's first Halloween, or definitely not Rob Zombie's Halloween because we know about that one, right, folks? Anywho, I digress. Um, okay, so yeah, the 2.4 assignment, the planning a presentation assignment, is due Sunday. And again, I'm going to show you guys an example of that. I'm going to show you a couple of different applications you can use for it. Cool. Oh boy, I'm sorry. I had to mute. I had to put everybody on mute so you wouldn't hear me coughing my brains out. I try to be kind to your ears as much as possible. You have to suffer enough through hearing my voice. Anywho, okay, so a little couple of different tips about the 2.4 assignment. So number one, please do not use a presentation tool like PowerPoint or Keynote or Prezi. And the reason why is the 2.4 assignment is not a presentation. The 2.4 assignment is simply a plan. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that in a second, but I just want to get that kind of out of the way right away. Please don't use a presentation program. And when I say presentation program, I mean don't use PowerPoint, don't use Keynote. The reason is it's kind of, think of it like a map. When you're looking at a map, you need to be able to spread it out, right? You need to be able to stand, you know, you need to be able to like kind of like look at it from a close distance and as well as like 5 steps back as well. It should be something that you can spread out. And you can't really do that with Keynote or PowerPoint. PowerPoint is great for presenting, but not for planning. Cool? Make sense? And as I have here also, PowerPoint is going to be totally fine for your next week's assignment for the 3.4 when you actually get into your first draft. PowerPoint's totally fine for that because next week's assignment is a presentation, right? Um, Now you are more than welcome to use PowerPoint for the emotional storytelling assignment. That's fine. That is totally fine because the emotional storytelling assignment it is kind of like a presentation, but the planning, the 2.4 assignment is not. Does that make sense? Please just let me know if it's a little confusing. I'm trying to. I'm sorry. I'm trying to I'm trying to simplify this. Anyway, if it's a little fuzzy, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to chat about it. All right. And the other thing is for your plan, please don't hand draw it. Don't try to sketch it out. And there's a couple of reasons. Um, the first and foremost reason um, is because whenever somebody draws something like a plant or writes it out like handwritten, it never comes out well. It never comes out dark enough, or maybe if you're like me, you might have kind of sloppy handwriting. It's true. It's true. So what I recommend instead is like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys a few different applications that you can use that are free, in fact, and they'll work much better. So yeah, definitely you don't want to hand draw it or try to sketch it out. Cool. Okie dokie, moving right along. So getting a little deeper into the 2.4 assignment, folks. So this assignment, I want you to look at it as like I said, it is a plan. Um, and don't let that intimidate you. Don't. A lot of people feel like I'm more of like a kind of free spirit, and I like to just let see where the wind takes me. That's okay to some degree, but most great works of art, if we're talking about a novel, if we're talking about a symphony, a great film, some of the best films out there, that those there's a whole planning process involved, right? And this assignment is all about research and planning. So it's about preparing for the first draft. So this assignment kind of really, really encourages you to think about what you're going to say for the first draft, for the 3.4 assignment. It forces you to think about, okay, what are you going to use? What application, what presentation program are you going to use? Um, it's all the idea is to also focus on what companies you're going to research, because the 3.4 first draft, it's all going to be a pitch. It's going to be a pitch where you're going to essentially you'll be pitching yourself to a potential company of interest. Let's say, for example, um, that your dream, again, this is just an example. Your dream is to work for uh, Square Enix or Blizzard. I don't know. Those are the first things that just popped into my mind. Okay, let's just pretend that your dream is to work for Blizzard when you graduate. So this presentation, the 3.4 presentation, is or Spectrasonics exactly. You're gonna really really need to research the heck out of that company. Go on their website, go looking for articles, go study their founders, who started the company, what do their employees know, what are they proficient in, what software programs do they know, what hardware are they proficient in. um, Check out their website to see what job openings they have, and then really with a fine-tooth comb go through that job and take a look at the qualifications. you know, is it 2 to 3 years of experience, prior years of experience? Is it 5 years of experience? All that is critical, and knowing that in advance is going to be beneficial to you in more ways than I can ever explain during this session. It's going to help you not only prepare for your first draft, but it's also going to help you immensely before you graduate. Because you definitely don't want to start your research when you graduate. You want to do the research right now. That way, if you start studying and you start finding, okay, all right, the employees of Blizzard, they are they're proficient in this software program. Well, I need to know that program. They know this. Well, I need to know that as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's all this assignment, this 2.4 assignment is all about researching a company, your dream company, that you would like to work for. And even if you want to go into business for yourself, let's say, pretend for a second that you're in music production, right? And your dream is to start your own recording studio, recording label, right? You still need to research recording studios. Research some recording studios in your area, and then outside your area. Research the ones, the best in the country. Research the founders of that studio. What was their journey? What education do they have? What software do their engineers know? That all that kind of stuff is so important. Because you know what? If the more you know now, you can get a jump start on it. That way, by the time you are graduating, you're going to be so sharp and just have such an incredible edge over the person who's never done that. Um, okay, so let's see. So yeah, it is all about research, and so when you open up the 2.4 instructions, there's going to be a series of questions. So what I recommend doing is, as you're researching the company that you want to work for, or whatever industry it is, whatever field, whatever position it might be, um, have those questions handy. Don't try to answer the questions without first doing the research, though. Right? You have to do the research first. Alrighty. Okay, so I think I mentioned this before. So, like anybody in game design here or game art? Okay, excellent. So yeah, research companies that you'd like to work for, research what they require proficiency in. Um, yeah, and like I said earlier, even if you plan on working on your own independently, um, because I know a lot of students who want to do that. They want to open up their own gaming production studio. So research the indie companies, research the small ones. I find it fascinating to study the what did they do? What was their journey like? Where did they go to school? It's just really enlightening. Alrighty. Okay, so let's move right along. The other thing you really need to do, and you'd be surprised how many people haven't done this already, but this is so helpful, so helpful. Research your degree program. So, for example, if you're in game art or music production, um, go on the main Full Sail website. You don't have to do this right this second, but for this assignment, you definitely should do this. But jump on the main Full Sail website, go to your specific degree program, click on there, and once you find your specific degree program, you should see a little link to the courses that you'll be taking. And then towards the left-hand side of the site, you should see an actual downloadable catalog. That's what you want to look through. You need to know everything you'll be taking in your degree program. Everything from like month one to month two, three, four, five, all the way up to graduation. It's going to help you in so many ways. It helps you understand what you're going to know and what you will need to know. And it will also help you for the presentation, because next week's presentation, like I said, it is a pitch, but it's from the perspective that you have already graduated from Full Sail. So you were going to say something like, this is just an example. You're going to say something like, "Hi, my name's Joe Schmo. I recently graduated from Full Sail. I studied music production, and during my time at Full Sail, I studied audio workstations. I studied mixing and mastering, music history. I'm proficient in Avid. I'm proficient in, whatever." But that's just to give you an idea. Just to give you an idea. So the more you know about your program, the more you can talk about yourself and what you will know. It's also helpful to know like for example, I've had many instances where students they communicate with each other and they communicate with students that they meet in the program, and they might be like further down the road in their degree program, and they'll say, "Hey, dude, this class is a monster. If you know, you should really brush up on your logic." And hey, just knowing that alone, just knowing that is extremely helpful. It's even helped a couple of students really kind of understand their program a lot better. Because what's happened a few times is when students will really start digging through their classes and reading through the specific descriptions, they'll find that, oh, wait, maybe I don't want to do digital cinematography. I think instead want to do this degree program instead. So what happens sometimes is they'll end up switching programs. Oh wait, I don't know if I want to do graphic design. I think I want to do game art instead. But yeah, it's very beneficial. You need to know what you're going to need to know. Cool. And again, you can find that information on the main Full Sail website, your specific degree program. Very helpful, right? Okay. Hey, I mentioned this earlier. Just make sure that you research the company of interest in order to fully answer the questions in the 2.4 instructions. Because the more the more detailed your response is, the better it is for you, and the better it is for me as well, in helping you gauge the direction that you need to be in. Don't try to answer the questions without first doing the research. All right, so let's take a look at the 2.4 assignment. So here are a couple of options for the 2.4 planning a presentation assignment. There's an application called MindMeister, Poplet, there's Google Docs, and then there's also, of course, Microsoft Word. Now, let's take a look, see. Let me go back a little bit. Let's take a look at Poplet first. Now, Poplet is a free online program, and Poplet is considered what you might call a mind map application. It's great for like planning things, for really kind of mapping out an idea and being able to create subcategories and like a bubble. Start off with a big bubble and then make smaller bubbles. It's now Poplet is for iOS users. It's for Mac users, iPhone, iPad, that kind of thing. I'm going to show you a couple of other programs, mind map programs, in case you have an Android or PC users. So Poplet is for Mac and iOS, but really user friendly. So let's see here. So for example, I just clicked on the try it out button, and right now it's walking me through how to use the program step by step. Double click to make a popple. Next, type in a popple. Next, change a popple's color. And this is good because it just allows you differentiate and kind of like isolate your smaller ideas, your subcategories. Set a popple's text size. Next, draw in a popple. So you can keep doing this and keep doing this, but just to give you an idea, I'm gonna just give you guys a really quick and dirty example. Sorry. So see what I did here? So you start off with your big idea. Uh, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Okay, sorry. So as I mentioned, you start off with a big idea. Your big idea right here, idea, and then you can branch off into a smaller one. Let's make that a different color. Let's make it green, right? Big idea. Subcategories. Can't spell. And you can go on into another direction. Again, we can change the color. See what I'm doing? Even smaller idea. And it also allows you to include an image if you want. Make the text bigger, larger, whatever you want. And I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to show you a student example where they used a mind map. So this is just one way, one tool that you can use for the 2.4 assignment. And it's great because, like I said, it lets you map things out, lay it out, spread it out and just see it from a distance. So Poplet is definitely one way to go. Another, and I know I mentioned this already, but just to be redundant, a Poplet is for iOS users, Mac users. Now the other one you can use is MindMeister. MindMeister is for anybody who doesn't have a Mac. Android, whatever, PC users. MindMeister is very, very similar to Poplet. It's the same general idea. It is a mind map. Again, it is free. It's free. Now, here's the thing, folks. These programs, they're free online. I know, right? They're free and they're online, so there's no downloading involved. Everything is kind of cloud-based. So what you do is you just basically share the link with me. It might be a little bit different how you do it from application to application, but each program like this has the option where you can just share the link with me and you don't have to pay for it. You do not have to pay for it. All I need to see is the link. So what you can do if you're using a Poplet or if you're using MindMeister is share the link with me, copy and paste it onto, say, a Word document or something like that, and then just send that Word document to me. That way, when I see your assignment, it's a Word document, I fire open that Word document, boom, there's your link. I click on the link, and I can see your map. So again, you don't have to pay for any of these programs. They do allow you to share the link with me. So you just copy and paste that share link onto any kind of document, and then you submit that document. Oh boy, sorry, that was round 2 of coughing my brains out. Okay, so MindMeister, here it is, folks. Again, very similar to Poplet. Layout's a little different. What it basically lets you do, start off with a big idea. This is actually, and then branch out into smaller ideas. Here it's actually walking you through a sample, see? Goals, smaller categories, budget, staff, overtime, Google Ads. There's no breaking it. That's the fantastic thing about this. There's no breaking it. And so this is another option, MindMeister. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and type this in here. Okay, MindMeister. Eddie can spell, I promise. MindMeister.com. So that is for like I said, Android users. If you got a map, if you have a Apple phone or whatever, iPad, and you don't want to use that, you can use Poplet. Poplet is spelled poplet.com. Cool. And the other one that you can use if you don't want to use, if you're not feeling the Mac thing, is Mindfort 2. So there's actually a few different mind map tools. Mindfort 2. Tommy said they all let us share the link with you. Absolutely. All of these programs, they let you share the link and you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. So it's different from program to program how you share, but it's quite user friendly. Quite user friendly. And it's it's fun to just kind of like you basically, I mean, definitely give yourself time to play around with it, create first, experiment, and then, get into the nitty gritty of it. But so that is one option. You can, for the 2.4 assignment, do a mind map. Or you can use Microsoft Word or Google Docs if you want to do it in outline format. So if you want to do an outline format, you're welcome to use something like Microsoft Word, something like Google Docs. What I do ask, whether you use mind map, whether you use Microsoft Word, please just be as detailed, as organized as possible. The more detailed you're going to be, the better it's going to help you, the better it's going to help me, the better grade you'll receive altogether. So, because here's the thing, if you provide short, vague answers, it might make sense to you now, but when it comes time to construct your first draft, it's going to be a little bit harder to, okay, what did I mean by that? So the more is better in this assignment. Okay, I'm going to show you guys an example of a mind map from a student. Check this out. Let's unfortunately, since this is a student's assignment, I, I can't make it available for download. So, but the cool thing is this whole session is available as a recording, so you can pause. You can pause, fast forward. Now look at the detail that this student used. This is a mind map. Excuse me. They started with this is what they are. This is what they wanted to be. Mobile developer. Now, here are the different categories. True message, presentation flow, future self, target audience. Let's take a look at target audience. These are all categories from the instructions. Who is their target audience? The owner, the CEO, the team leads, the team members. And notice they branch off into smaller subcategories. What do we have in common? Interest in the same industry, both looking for the right fit, want to move forward, different experiences. Another question from the instructions, what do they find interesting in this industry? I'm not going to read every single question and response, but this is just to give you an idea. Sorry, it's a little. Okay. You guys see that better? It's a little tricky because it's a PDF file, but again, the cool thing is that this whole session is recorded, so you'll be able to pause it and get just what you need. Now, the other categories, what am I bringing to the table? This is my future self. Full Sail presented a thorough evolving curriculum that provides a complete study of the processes used in professional application production. I am bilingual in English and Spanish. People don't I noticed that I don't see that too often. Even if I know that a student is bilingual, I don't see that. And you really need to, like, any um anything you know that another person may not know, you need to throw that in there. Definitely. Bring a different insight and perspective. My unique background, experience, and high standards will help me excel in the industry. Hardware and software skills, designing, intuitive, and so on. Okay, let's take a look at the other categories. True message. Again, these are all part of the prompts from the instructions. True message, reason for the presentation, tell them why my experiences will benefit them, showcase my knowledge, skill, and uniqueness. This is where that research is going to come in handy. So if you do your research, if you find out what you need to be, what you need to know, you'll be able to showcase and present yourself a lot better. What results do I want? Obviously, to impress them and possibly inspire them. That's what makes this kind of presentation so unique. It's a creative presentation. I can't emphasize that word enough. A lot of people like to throw out the word creative, creativity, blah blah blah. I'm creative. I'm creative. Be creative. No, you need to be creative for this assignment, for the first draft. Nancy Duarte's Slideology, Resonate. It's all about being able to construct creative presentations using powerful pictures, powerful images, and inspiring messages. Right? Okay, so I think you guys get an idea, right, of the mind map. Like I said, there's a lot of detail in this one in particular, and I'm not going to go through every single one, but I wanted to give you a general idea of what you can do with a mind map. Alrighty? All right, so let's say, for example, you don't want to do a mind map. You hate the idea of mind map, right? Well, that's okay. You can write it all out in an outline format using something like Microsoft Word or Google Docs or Pages, whatever. Um, and I'll show you how to do that. This student received high marks for their assignment. Now, like I said, this is outline format. So if you don't want to do a mind map, you can write it out like this. One of the main reasons why they received high marks is one, that they were very organized. Everything is laid out neatly, and more importantly, everything is very detailed. They put a lot of detail in every single response that they had to answer in the instructions. You can tell they did their homework. So, neatness, organization. So notice how everything's neatly laid out. You know, we got the larger font there. Target, everything's broken down. Very easy to find. Target audience, true message, my future self, presentation flow. You see the detail that they put in here. So this student's star moment, they thought of everything. So this student, their dream job is Netflix. Netflix. The target audience, the people that they are going to be pitching to, are the executives at Netflix who have the power to decide which TV movie scripts are greenlit. They want someone with creative and original ideas who can sell themselves as well as their script. And on and on. Can everybody see this okay? So this is one option. Like I said earlier, if you don't want to do a mind map, you can do it in outline format, just like this. But whatever you do, whether you write an outline or whether you write a mind map, please be organized, be detailed, be very detailed with the responses. The more elaborate you can be with your responses, the better. Cool. So you can, like I said, Microsoft Word is fine for the outline, or Google Docs. Pages is fine. Alrighty. So, okay, so this is an example, and the other mind map is another example. So I showed you guys two examples of the 2.4 assignment. The biggest thing to remember about the 2.4 assignment is the research aspect. You gotta do the research. You gotta research the company that you want to work for. You gotta research the industry or the position that you want to have. And the other huge factor is, of course, the organization. One question I had earlier was, actually, I was sent this question. You can actually do both. If you want to do a mind map and an outline, awesome. Totally cool with that. In fact, I would almost recommend doing that. It's because for mind maps are cool, but they don't really let you write a lot of words. They'll let you write maybe a key phrase. So an outline, if you include an outline in addition to your mind map, it will help you out. It'll help you understand what you were talking about. It'll kind of help you expand on your thoughts for different subcategories and such. All right. Any questions about the 2.4 assignment or any of these programs? Okie dokie. If you do have a question later, if you're working on it, and please, by all means, send me an email. Happy to clarify anything you need. Alrighty. Like all of these assignments, folks, try, really don't wait till the last minute. It's never a good idea to do that at Full Sail. It's pretty brutal waiting, because there's these classes are all 4 weeks long, so there's a lot in each week. There's the assigned reading. There's like in this week you have a couple of videos to watch. You have that Julian Treasure video to watch. Not just that, you're going to be experimenting with different programs, so you want to allow yourself plenty of time to do all that. Now, not to intimidate anybody, but these programs, they are very user friendly. Like I said, MindMeister, Poplet, Mind42. But definitely give yourself time to play, get in there, see what the buttons do and stuff like that. All right. So yeah, don't wait until the weekend to start these. Please. All righty. So where are we? Okay, I mentioned this earlier as far as the mind maps go, like whether you're using Poplet or MindMeister. As I said earlier, you don't have to pay for anything. You can share the link. All right. Okie dokie. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think you'll find that definitely handy, Michael. Definitely handy. And the great thing is too, you can include pictures. All right, so let's chat about the 2.3 emotional storytelling assignment. When does that due? When's the emotional storytelling assignment due? Anyone? Yes. Now, the recording part is due tomorrow. Exactly. Yep. Midnight tomorrow. Don't wait until midnight. but yes, tomorrow. That's the recording part. Now, the reply posts are going to be due Sunday. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, so let's chat about the 2.3. One of the things I'd like to recommend, and this is also true for next week's assignment for your first draft, write out a script. Write out a script. A script will help you in just a million ways. It'll help you stay within the time frame because remember this the 2.3 assignment, it's got to be between 2 and 3 minutes long. So a script is going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you remember to nail all the prompts that you need to nail in the instructions. Um, it's going to help you stay focused and stay on track. I definitely wouldn't recommend improvising. That never goes well. What happens when you improvise is you end up either falling short of the time limit or going way over. It also you're also going to find that if you improvise, you're probably going to be saying a lot of ums and and like and you're going to have quite a number of awkward pauses too. So I would definitely recommend writing out a script. Now, here's the other thing. I know sometimes a script might feel a little, I don't want to write a script. I don't want to sound robotic. I don't. All I mean by that is at least get everything written down that you need to have written down. Like make sure in the script you have all your answers. Once you rehearse your script and once you feel totally comfortable, then you can take some liberties, right? But the idea is to you have it's kind of like index cards. And during a recorded presentation, that's very, very important. So I strongly encourage you to write a script. What I like to tell people is you should rehearse your script so much. You should know your script so well that if you were to read it to me over the phone, I wouldn't even know that you were reading it to me. That's how well you should know it. Like I certainly don't want you to say, "Hi, my name is Eddie Tapia, and my favorite movie is Highlander, and Highlander was a great film." And you don't want to sound robotic. By the way, Highlander is just one of my favorite films. I know I'm a big nerd. Okay, so just just leave me alone. Anywho, so yeah, rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Now, Audacity, I mentioned this earlier. It's a great tool if you don't have Audacity is a lot like GarageBand. Anybody use GarageBand? It's a Mac-based program. The cool thing about Audacity is it's free, and free is awesome. It's a free online program. You can edit recordings. You can do all kinds of things. Tons and tons of students have used it in this class, and achieved great results with it as well. So that you can use that for your recording. And as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have to have pictures. It can if you want, but if you want it to be just audio, that's totally cool. Totally cool. All right. So the other thing I want to also encourage you guys, you can't choose your own song. Like say you wrote a song. Like you can't say, okay, my favorite piece of art is my this song that I wrote. That's cheating. Come on. Or like say you painted something. You can't say, my favorite piece of art is this painting that I just painted. The idea is we want you to talk about something that you found, something you encountered, something you heard. So it becomes really a much fresher idea, and it really kind of encourages you to explore art, the many different facets of art. So that, like I said earlier, the great thing about this assignment is it can be anything, any video game, any film and that you've seen, any song, any painting, sculpture, uh, genre of music. But the idea is just make sure that you answer the prompts from the instructions, and if you need kind of an example, be sure to check out the 2.3 discussion board because I know I mentioned this earlier, but in case you came in late, I posted 2 sample presentations. Cool. Good question. If yeah, I mean, as long as you didn't make the like say if somebody wrote or painted something for you, yeah, talk about that. Heck, it could be a tattoo, right? Make sense? All right. Okay, where are we? Okay, so just as a reminder, I know I made this reminder in week 1, and it's just to give you guys kind of like a little heads up what we're going to be doing down the road. Next week, you're going to be getting into your first draft, your actual presentation, the 3.4 presentation. Now that will require you to use a presentation program like PowerPoint or Keynote or Adobe Spark. A lot of students love Adobe Spark. I think it's pretty cool. And I also think it's pretty cool that it's free. It's a free online program. Prezi, you can use that too for the 3.4. Now, um, again, I'm just throwing this out here as just as a reminder. Maybe you might want to kind of start thinking about what program you can use. Start playing around with it. Fire up PowerPoint or Keynote or Adobe Spark. Everybody should have access to Office 365, which contains PowerPoint and Microsoft Word. If you're having trouble with Office 365 for whatever reason, give FSO support a call, please. Usually all technical support questions, anything, if you're having any kind of tech issues, FSO support is the place to call for that. If you need something right away for this assignment, now for the 2.3 assignment, like I said, you just there's a couple of different programs you can use. You can just use your smartphone to record audio, or you can use Adobe Spark, which is free. Like if you want to use images, now those are free. That's cool. And as far as the 2.4 assignment, remember you got to use like mind map, or if you don't want to use a mind map, if you want to write it all out like an outline format, you should definitely use something like Microsoft Word, or if you don't have Microsoft Word, you can use Google Docs, which is free. Um, duh, 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 duh. Let's see here. Where are we? Oh yeah, lynda.com too. People, lynda.com is so awesome. I know I mentioned that in the last session and in week 1 as well. Lynda.com has a gold mine of really high quality video tutorials on so many different software programs, so many different um, topics. There's a lot of stuff. Like say for example, you've never used Adobe Spark. You want some step-by-step guide. Lynda.com has some excellent tutorials on it. Same thing with PowerPoint. If maybe you use PowerPoint, but it's been a while and you want a little refresher, lynda.com has tutorials on it. Same thing with Keynote and Prezi. Now, the way to use lynda.com for free, because it is free for Full Sail students, you first go, I'll type it out here. First go to FS Connect, then go to the library, then inside the library, you'll see lynda.com. There. That's the way to access it for free. If you just type in lynda.com in your browser, they'll probably try to charge you, which I don't want anybody to spend their money. Cool. All right. So yeah, after today's session, please definitely check it out. Check out lynda.com. see if you want to use Audacity. Audacity's free. I know I said that a million times. So it's all about, now is the time to get inspired. Now is definitely the time to get inspired. So whether you're, when I don't know, for people, so many people, it's really different. It varies. Some people will get inspired by movies, or some people sketch and kind of doodle and draw. Um, I find that there's a lot of TED Talks out there that are pretty inspiring. I will admit, I've seen my share of pretty boring TED Talks, but then again, I've seen some TED Talks that have just brought me to tears with laughter and enlightenment. So now is the time. You got to do whatever it takes to get yourself inspired, because you need that. Don't ever wait to get inspired. Myself, I make myself appointments to work every single day. I force myself to compose. I force myself. And I know that for the first 10 minutes, it's pretty brutal. I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. That sounds horrible. Eddie, what's wrong with you? But then, like, after the 15-minute mark, I'm like, oh, wait, that actually works. Okay, I like that sound. You know what? I'm going to use that sample. So you got to get into that groove to find that inspiration. I know it sounds cliche, but if you wait for it to happen, you could be waiting for a long time. So you just got to produce, work at it, right, folks? Folks, I am so sorry we went over the time limit, but I just wanted to make sure you saw those samples that I provided. Um, and I wanted to go through the some tips with you. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email me, etapia@fullsail.com. Everybody feel pretty good about the 2.3 assignment. I'm really looking forward to seeing those presentations. Really, I learned so much about you guys, and I love like all the different things that you're into. Cool. You are very welcome. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for hanging in there. I know I went over. I apologize. Cool. Okay, folks. Like I said, any questions? Email me, please. etapia@fullsail.com. All right, folks. I'm gonna stop yapping. Okay. All right, folks. Take care.